Hi, everyone. Welcome to Social 101, Episode 6, Creating Fun Content with Megs Williams and Danica Woolley. Welcome, girls.
Hi.
So good to have you here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about creating fun content. The first question I want to ask you guys is, how do you come up with your fun product ideas and the stories that you do in social media?
You want to go first? Okay. You know what? The whole thing I think about social media is authenticity. So the more authentic you are, people are going to read that about your story. So whether I'm posting something on Facebook or if I'm putting a picture on Instagram or I'm using Snapchat, I'm really using the products that I really use. And I'm using them in the ways that I really use them. So one popular social media product would be the mud mask. And it's a really easy, demonstrable product that we can put on social media. And I use it the way I actually use it. So it's fun because you're really just going to put it out there. You're going to make people feel comfortable that I'm going to look like a fool on my social media for a couple minutes with a green face, and it's okay. And maybe I'll speak to the benefits of it or why I love it, or maybe I'm just posting a quick, funny picture, just a still shot. But I'm really using the products or demonstrating the products that I actually use in my everyday life. So it's truly just an authentic thing.
I love that. Megs, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree. Every product that I use or that I incorporate into some sort of post or a video or whatever is exactly how I use it. And like Danica said, I probably would say the best one is the mud mask. I mean, I've done the spa a few times, and the spa creates a lot of curiosity, I think. And there's so many different ways to promote the spa, I feel, and the mask too. And what's great about those two is that using it with video, you can expand across different platforms. So with Instagram, you can create a really cool photo to create curiosity. Now they've kind of upgraded to the 1-minute video. So I think that's going to really help. And then with Snapchat, you can kind of do, the step-by-step with the spa. This is what step 1, how I do it, step 2, step 3, and then boom, a photo shot with the finished product. So I think it just depends on what platform you're on, how you want to, portray that story or post with each and every product.
Another thought I had, just kind of from what you said, Danica, with being authentic and real, and that I've seen with you guys is, it's not like you're only ever talking about new skin products. So, Megs, you have Churro, the funniest dog on the internet, I think. You have so much fun in all your posts, and then that transitions, and new skin is part of that fun personality. And so it's just an extension of who you're already being. Yeah. It's not like, it's not just, oh, I'm going to do a mud mask. It's just part of the whole story of things. And I love that, where it's like, it's just a part of your day, but it's not your only post that you do that day in social media. This is who I am, and this is a part of my day. And when you said authentic, I kept thinking how funny Churro is. He's a very funny dog.
Churro time.
But I think it's important that it's just a part of it, that social media isn't just new skin and your products, but that your fun, creative content goes always through your personality and the channel, and then new skin just becomes part of that. And I know you guys both do that a lot, and I think that's very powerful, and I love that with your content. How do you plan your content in advance, or do you come up with ideas just as you're using it? Is it a combination of the two?
For me, it's kind of a combination. It was funny. Megs and I were talking last night on the computer, and I kind of vented something to her. I'm like, oh, don't you wish we could do this thing? And she said, oh my gosh, I wish. And so I wrote that down thinking later I might bring that up in a live chat, or I might put that on my Snapchat, or I might write something on my Facebook, like, wouldn't it be great if we could do this? So only in that sense, for me personally, I don't plan ahead, or there's different services that you can use to put postings ahead. But I'm so prolific right now on social media, I almost don't have time to plan ahead because I'm on it all the time. Yeah. And so for me to take that extra step and put things in the can to be posted later would just, my time management would slip out of my hands.
Yeah. Megs, what about you? Do you plan any of yours, or?
It just depends on how I'm feeling, what's going on. If I have some cool things coming up, I like to, set something aside if I know that something's coming up, to incorporate that and make sure that I leave time for that. But I think one thing that's cool about the Snapchat platform, it's easy to prepare for that, because you can think about every post before you do it, and you can create a story. So say like someone's following you, like this morning Danica did her mud mask, and I usually do mine on Wednesday, but I had a lot to do this morning, and people literally wait for that thing to happen. So like Wednesday is usually my mud mask day, and so when people come to watch, you have new followers, you're constantly gaining traction because they know what to expect from you. Not saying you should do that every day, but it's kind of cool sometimes to say like, Monday is a day dedicated to something, like churro time. Like when I do churro time, it's a kind of a dedicated set of videos that people expect. And it's just about consistency. I mean, it doesn't have to be just so planned out and like firm, but I really think that sometimes a little bit of consistency is cool because people expect that from you, and they come to watch that, or they expect that post or whatever from you. So,
and it seems along that line, social media generally has created some of those trends with Flashback Fridays or Throwback Thursdays or Man Crush Mondays. I mean, social media as a today's Women Crush Wednesday, but I feel like
Women Crush, Kathy.
Yeah. It's created us to have that kind of where you do have certain expectations, and as new ones start trending or things like that in social media, it's a common social practice to have a form of consistency, if you will. Not necessarily that everything is planned and consistent, but it gets exciting when you're waiting for your husband to post that you're his woman's crush. Just kidding. He's never done that.
Well, the other thing,
social.
If you're aware too of the times or days a week that certain types of posts are more viewed, there's more engagement. For example, weekends on Facebook tend to be a little bit more, you'll draw more engagement during the weekends than you are going to during the week. So that might be a great time to have a consistent post, say on a Sunday evening, or to have a more recruiting type post where maybe you're just saying, hey, I've got this, business that I just love. And you may draw more people that are looking at that particular content. And so planning it out week-wise that way can be really beneficial depending on the platform.
Yeah, I like that. And, saying on Sunday night, how many of us are dreading going to work the next day?
Yeah.
This girl, right?
Yeah.
Not really. I love my job and I love new skin. But you know what I mean? When you're talking about the difference between an entrepreneur and someone who's got their 9 to 5, that's probably a good thing to do when they're dreading that the weekend is ending, on that.
Right.
And like you said, kind of that entrepreneur or recruiting. I love that. Where do you guys find inspiration for your fun ideas?
Well, with Danica and I, it's from each other a lot. Like, I think that it's really important to have a collaboration partner because you both you bounce ideas off each other. You both have an experience with all these products or whatever it is that you're doing, but they're totally different. So, I think that it comes with just who you're interacting with, who you watch. What kind of things you're exposed to every day. So I try to pay really close attention to who I'm following and what ideas they bring to the table, and then kind of twist that around. I mean, it's not about stealing content. It's about creating your own through, what you gather from all these other people, just like doing the business itself, right? We all do it differently. So, I mean, why not take a little bit of, nuggets from this person, that person, maybe a marketing professional, maybe a branding strategist, and then you've got your own experience with the products if you want to demonstrate those, and you just throw a little bit of your own personality into it. And I mean, that's just creativity,
Yeah, absolutely. Danica, other thoughts on that?
It's really about your personality. You know, Megs and I were talking about it for about 5 seconds this morning about, you know, today's call. And it's really just about expressing parts of your personality. And it goes along with what you mentioned earlier about, you know, my posts aren't just new skin all the time, just post after post after post of a product or let me tell you about my business. It's about my life. So I get inspired by watching other people's, if it's on Snapchat, a story, or on Facebook, you know, them telling me about their life. And that is what people, you know, I'll have people who will comment specifically on my non-new skin posts that don't really comment on my new skin posts. So I'm not even really sure if they're paying attention to that. But sometimes then they'll start to flow over into the other content. And I get inspired by, just like Meg said, Megs will post something and I think, oh, that was kind of a fun idea. Let me do my version of that. Mm-hmm. And just trying to show people who I am as a person, what my day looks like. You know, yesterday I went to lunch with my husband. I love sushi. There's a picture of sushi on my profile. That's going to, somebody who loves sushi. In fact, I got like 3 or 4 comments saying, oh my gosh, I love sushi, from people I don't know. So you just creatively look at your life and think, what would inspire me? And there's got to be other people out there looking for churro time or sushi dinner or lunches with my husband. People are looking for just interesting things to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just who you are, and people follow who you are. And new skin is a part of who you are, you know, in your daily lives. And I think I love that. But there is something to that consistency and that authenticity through all of your posts, so that your personality, and you guys are both so fun in social media. You guys aren't like super serious gals in social, you know, and that's what makes it fun. You guys are fun. But that's part of it, right? And I'm not saying that not everyone can create fun content, but part of it is just being who you are. And not everybody's needs to be like super funny to still be creative and successful and powerful. But I do love taking new skin in the business the way you guys have and having fun with it. I think that's it's so fun and so powerful and social to not be like, oh, I'm working, so I'm going to do a mud mask. That's not what it's about. You know, that's not how you guys are doing the business. And I like that. Other thoughts on how often you do or don't post, or does it just depend on your day on how often new skin is part of your posts?
Yeah, for me, it's, you know, I try to be consistent, but it's not, sometimes like this last week I was out of town and I couldn't really have my phone but I let people know that like, this was what's going on and then I'm going to be back, you know what I mean? And so I think it's important to keep people informed at all times. I mean, it's not like you're assuming that, oh my gosh, everyone watches my stuff, right? It's those people that do engage with you, you want to be there with them, you know, because it's important to go to not only to, I guess, trade out and like, you know, show that you care about what they're putting out as well. Because I think that's hugely important, right? I mean, if you're posting, I think more than you're watching and more that you're engaging, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And so the big thing for me is like, you know, because I was gone a whole week and I couldn't snap or I couldn't post on Instagram or share Facebook Live where I was, when I did get the time late at night, I'm going to go through and, you know, I can't engage, but I'm going to go through and check and see what everyone else is doing, you know, comment on their stuff, like their stuff. It's not all about me, but it's just important to, you know, make sure that they know that you're there for them as well. So that's a big thing that I, you know, highly enforce, even with my team, is like, it's not just about you putting stuff out and hoping that, you know, people are going to always engage with you or expect posts from you. You have to give as well. And you have to, you know, let people know that you care about what it is that they're doing.
Yeah. And I love that you said you give more than you post. You know, if you were going to break down your time, you spend more time commenting and building those relationships than just posting. I love that. Danica, any other thoughts on that piece?
You know, I couldn't agree more. It goes along with that, you know, in the business, when we're face to face and we're introducing new skin to people, there's a couple points I think that differentiate from social media. But one thing that is consistent is whether you're face to face or whether you're in social media, we've been taught face to face, you need to listen more than you talk. You know, shut your mouth, open your ears. I think just about all of us have a team elite somewhere who have said, you know, less talking, more listening. And the same applies to what Meg's just said about social media. If I'm just trying to get people to follow my accounts and comment on my things and then don't think that there's some reciprocity that's due of me being able to say, hey, wow, that looks like, you know, your ski trip looked amazing. Or also you can engage with calls to action. So calls to action don't always have to be you know, buy my product or find out about my business. Calls to action, you know, I put one yesterday. I had loud music playing because I was trying to pump myself up. I was tired. And I put out a call to action like, hey, send me a message and tell me what your like pump up music is. And then conversely, like, what's your chill out music? I'd be curious to know. I got so much engagement on that. People want to tell you their stuff. They want to say, hey, I listen to Coldplay when I'm chilling out. And that starts a conversation. And over time, being creative with the things you're asking of your audience and being creative with the things that you're posting, down the road, they now feel like they know me. They're like, oh, yeah, that's Danica. She listens to Green Day when she wants to get pumped up. She likes sushi, and she does a green mask once a week and this really weird alien video with her friend Megs. And we give each other shout outs. So, you know, my followers will follow Meg and her followers will follow me. And there isn't a competition there. It's just sharing our lives and the fun and just being excited, but listening more than talking sometimes is key.
I love that. I love it. Other last words of advice that you have to give? Anything that just sticks out to you guys?
I would say the thing that Meg said at the beginning, find some collaboration partners. You know, find somebody that you can get inspiration from. I have a few that are really important that keep me sort of going or even keep me grounded. Like we'll laugh at something I post or like, did you just post that? Or we'll even just click a like now and then when you get crickets sometimes when you post something. But Megs and I work together. I mean, we're not on the same teams. We're not in the same state. We just work together to help keep each other, you know, creative and growing on social media. Find some partners. They don't even have to be in Nu Skin, but find partners through social media that can inspire and you can learn from.
So did you guys meet through social media?
Yeah.
On the same team. I love that. I love it. And that's the power of it, is building relationships with like-minded people, you know, who you can collaborate and do stuff with. I love the peer-to-peer that you guys have, building each other and that you met in social. I think that's so fun. And I did not know that until just now. I love it. So fun.
Yeah, we did. We haven't been together in the same room ever. And we talk every day. And she's by far my best friend in the business. And we're going to be doing a lot of social media leading up to leadership just because we think we can do more together than we could do on our own.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. Oh, I love that. Megs, any kind of last inspiration thoughts?
I would say that, you know, collaboration is important. Also look for people who have a larger reach than you. And see what you have in common with them, whether they don't have to be in network marketing, even just anybody. And also let people know where else they can find you, because when you start creating those relationships with, you know, say people on your Instagram and you're commenting back and forth and you're sending direct messages, you're liking all their posts, let them know where else they can find you. That's what I've been doing on Snapchat, because I'm on Instagram, but I don't post every day. And so I am on certain platforms every day. But when you start to engage a little bit further, they start to get to know you. Say, hey, do you have a Facebook page I can go like? Like, let them know that you're interested in exploring where else they are as well, right? Because that's going to increase the engagement with that one person, and as well as have them see you all across your platforms. So when you start to engage with somebody, don't just stick to one platform. Like, let them know that you're here. You've got a business page. You've got, an Instagram page. Follow me here on Twitter. Sometimes I do, webinars. Like, make sure you sign up for my email list. Like, whatever it is. I think that it's great to just make sure that everyone knows where you are at all times. Like, let them know where else they can find you.
Yeah, I love that. A lot of power in that, in the combining of the channels, because you do talk a little different in the different channels. There's a slightly different voice.
Yeah.
So they'll get different versions of your personality.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You girls have been fantastic. And
Thank you.
I'm excited to share this episode with everybody. So with that, we will say goodbye to everybody. And thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.